Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Nikita Fofi. I am a counseling psychologist and founder of Therapyish, and I'm really pleased today to reintroduce to you my podcast. So on this podcast, we're going to be talking about all things therapy, all things mental health, just everything that is relevant to life and living, getting down into the nitty-gritty, speaking to some amazing guests, and just having a chat. So if you are, if that is up your alley, please do like, subscribe, tune in, and we will be, producing lots and lots of different and exciting episodes for you to watch. Wonderful lady who is a Black British lady. She's been on a journey in terms of embracing her neurodiversity and understanding herself, falling more and more in love with herself every day. When I thought of relaunching this podcast, I just knew I needed to sit down and have a conversation with her. I didn't really know why or what we would talk about, but I knew I needed to have her. And so that's where we're at today. Welcome, Pamela.
Hi guys. Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm the young Pamela.
Oh.
Okay. I don't know why you had to sprinkle that in there.
Okay.
I'm 30. 30
and
I said
thriving.
it. I said it.
Amazing. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Honestly, this is something I'm passionate about. Dr. Nikita to the world.
Thank you. Okay, so before we begin, we want to do a little icebreaker, warm you up a little bit. So I'm going to ask a few quick fire questions and then a few slightly longer questions, and then we'll get into the meat of things. Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
What?
I have to. Well, I don't have to. In fact, I shouldn't. But coffee. If I'm going to drink something hot, it's going to be something that's going to stimulate me, and it's going to be a coffee.
You live in Britain.
Okay. And?
It's a tea nation. Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Ooh. Morning people irritate me.
Oh.
But no, I'm going to go night owl.
Night owl. Okay, cool. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Really?
Yes, because I get to wear boots and I get to wear black without anyone questioning what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know, guys, Pamela is always in heels. I have never seen her without heels.
She says it like it's like a slur or something. Like, what else? If you're not wearing heels, you're not ready.
Pamela is living the version of adulthood that we all thought we would live when we're adults. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Okay, sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Savoury, yeah,
I'm
100%.
sorry, sweet things are childish.
100%.
It's childish.
100%.
Like, what are you telling
You're an adult.
me?
Yes.
You want everything to be hitting you in the back of your teeth. I don't like that.
Yeah. Okay. What's the strangest food combination that you enjoy that others might find odd?
Strangest food combination that I enjoy. I don't think anything I eat is strange. But okay, wait, no. Someone has to have said, I can't believe you put that in your body. Let me tap into that. Ooh. Oh my God, something flashed into my mind and I forgot. Do you know what? I can't think of anything strange, but I do love me an elote.
What's that?
It's like your roasted corn with your parmesan, your mayo, your tahine, lime. Yeah.
Wow.
Butter. Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have some soon.
Interesting. Okay. What did you want to be when you were a kid and why?
Dear God. Okay, I had 3 options.
Yeah.
Either a doctor, a forensic sculptor, or a designer.
This is a forensic sculptor.
So
Oh, is this one of your morbid?
yeah.
Oh no.
So oh my God, we found a skeleton. Who does this belong to?
Oh.
I wanted to be the person that recreates or sculpts a projection or a projected idea of what this person might have looked like by, taking their skull and rebuilding.
Oh my God.
So I could be like, oh, this is that last girl that everyone was looking for back in the day.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
As a child, Okay. Yeah. Fascinating. Okay, so now that we're all warmed up, we'll get into the meat of things. Tell us who you are. Who are you? Give us an overview.
Who am I? You know, it was a very confronting question, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. But I think I realized like my brain split into two because I think there's two versions of me in sense of a before and an after. And
Mm.
so in that sense, I feel like I'm a 2 year old kind of finding her feet in the world because it's been 2 years since I've kind of like existed in the present and tried to get to know myself on my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I think I was someone who was just trying to fit in and always feeling out of place.
Mm-hmm.
But both those people have qualities that, you know, have not diminished just because they are separate.
Mm.
So when I think who am I think I'm someone who's trying to consolidate all the versions of myself, past and present.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm a 2 year old version of myself.
Okay. And when you speak about before and after, what what's the dividing factor?
I would say the dividing factor is that previous version of me didn't really understand being present.
Okay.
Um, they existed running away from the past
Okay.
and not able to cross over into the future.
Mm-hmm.
This version of myself is very much about like now, oh my god, like, and all the little things right now that have always been and probably will always be, but they for some strange reason had no value before 2 years ago. So in that sense, that's the divider, if that makes any sense. It's really time and my place in it, essentially.
Okay. Valuing yourself at this point in time and being present.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, what are some of the challenges that you faced kind of along this journey of embracing yourself and being present?
I would say anxiety
Okay.
and depression. Because I can't remember who said it when a generation of I heard or I saw a video and I read here, but like someone said anxiety is when you are afraid of the future and depression is when you're afraid of the past. So
Mm-hmm.
a very strange thing for some people is when you have both of them, you kind of get stuck in this weird in between where you can't really let go of the past and you can't really step into the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've had this challenge of what I perceived as stagnancy because I couldn't move between the two.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've existed in a duality in general, in a lot of ways that were quite. I don't even know what the word is, like opposing or oxymoronic, like just down to me and my surroundings. Like what a challenge was growing up with my parents who were two opposites of each other. One was very maybe very loving and one was very withholding, and I in my head I always found anxiety and depression to quite be opposite because I felt like anxiety was feeling too much and depression was not feeling at all. So the duality of that, and then also the concept of even realizing I potentially have ADHD and autism. In my head, those two things are quite opposite. One is being very, can be very specific and routine led, and things need to be in a very specific way. And then the other thing is just unorganized, very type B, very hyper, and all of that stuff. And it's like a challenge that I've had is trying to balance a lot of these dualities in myself. I don't even know if that's the correct word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Balancing the opposites.
Yeah.
the dualities, the oxymorons,
Yeah,
all the words.
almost contradictions in some way. In my head, that's kind of how I translate them. As just
and making sense.
Barely making sense, and it's just like, and trying to accept that actually those things, two things can be true. Like I think I can be quite black and white, and it's actually some things are quite grey and or a whole new color entirely. Like two different things can come together and make something completely new. I think I've always looked at that even as a child, and like looked at my parents so opposite, so not making sense together. And you've created me a walking contradiction because I've taken both parts of you, good and bad. And it's like I was planted in conflict, and I have internal conflict as a result of that, if that makes any sense.
Okay. What do you think the impact was of the traumas that you faced?
Again, that inability to essentially move forward. I think we look at time linearly. And I realized that it's not. Who was it? Was it Kierkegaard? Can't remember, but my friend said something amazing. It was someone amazing. And it was a concept that life is meant to be lived forward but understood backwards, something like that.
Okay.
And the sense of that, of going, but I wasn't able to move forward, therefore I wasn't able to understand anything. So the inability to to move forward, essentially, and being stuck in that fear of repeating the past, so much so that I can't even focus on what the future could be, especially where I've sat down and I'm trying to dictate exactly what the future should be, and that's actually not what life is about or how it's lived. Like, I think I've had to learn that very quickly, that life doesn't have to go the way you want it to go for it to be of value. And I'm 2 years in learning that, and I'm 30. It was extremely confronting, but my God, how freeing it's been, but so difficult, because it's like, I didn't even realize when the trauma of all of that is in your everyday life, in good ways and bad ways. Like it controls what you're willing to do and what you're willing not to do, without there even being a thought process. It like just bypasses everything. It's like, even down to the little things. If I say the little things in the sense of, oh, I'm going to wear these earrings, and if someone was to slow down and ask me a reason for every little thing I did, now, obviously having gone to therapy and slowed down and become more introspective, I probably have an answer for it. But I think most people will not and cannot have an answer for everything. But I now know I wear these earrings on days where I feel like I wish my little sister was with me because she bought them for me. Or the perfume I chose. Oh, I'll wear roses when I wish my dad was with me, because every time he traveled, he would get me a Barbie doll. And my favorite one was one he brought back from Spain, and it came back with a rose perfume. So anytime I smell roses, I just have this feeling, you know? It's, you know, the little things in good ways and bad ways, or bigger things, I would say, is like, oh, there was someone, he was very lovely, bless him. Best dates I have ever been on. Then found out, oh, he had a kid. And I was just kind of like, oh, all right, well, I'm no longer talking to him anymore. And a friend had to ask me, like, but why? And I was like, oh, because he has a kid. Yeah, but why? Why is that the reason? And I was just like, I don't know. It's just a rule that I have. And then I had to be like, I had to speak to my brother. And he's like, that's strange. Like, you're doing things you don't even know why. You could be robbing yourself of where you should be. I had to sit down and ask myself, why? And then I had to walk it back. Like, I had to slow my brain down and understand what I'm bypassing in that thought process, because it's just like you're not even doing
automatic decisions. Yeah.
And it was essentially I wouldn't date a wonderful man with a child because of the fear of moving forward with that person, settling down, having a family with this person, and then there being a Velcro, I call it, of pulling apart and snapping back and pulling apart between my biological child and my stepchild. Because I know exactly how it felt having half siblings and that pulling apart and snapping apart. Oh, they're here for holidays, they're leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to go spend Christmas with their dad or their mum. And it was traumatic, like absolutely traumatic, to a point that I wouldn't even allow my potential imaginary theoretical children in the future to experience what I experienced. Like, and it's like, oh my God, I'm operating in ways that I'm not even aware of and don't even know the reasons why. Like, and it made me a bit uncomfortable because it's like, how many things have I done or will not do because of things that had nothing to do with me? And that's exactly what my brother said. He's like, you're making decisions based on your parents' failure, and you're not them. He's like, you have the potential to be like them if you don't actually understand why you're doing these things and to fix them. And it was so confronting. And it's like, yeah.
Wow.
I've gotten the question again.
That's okay. I mean, you've led me nicely onto the next question, which I'll come to, but I think you've just really highlighted the value of introspection, and not just introspection, but reflection and therapy, cheeky plug, in just being able to understand why we are who we are and why we do the things that we do as well. I guess my next question was, what were your aha moments? What were the moments that were kind of big revelations for you in navigating this journey?
I guess that would be one of them. Talking to my brother, and not just him, a lot of people, like, what being loved is probably an aha moment, except when you don't love yourself, it's very hard to receive them as that. For me, I think for a lot of people, being loved is being seen, but for me, that comes in layers. And when for me, being loved is also being known. And for people like my brother and the friends that I've had who will sit there and be like, I noticed this about you, and will question things and make you question those things, not out of pulling you apart, but out of why? Why do you do that kind of thing?
And you know it's coming from a place of love. Oh yeah,
it's coming from a place of love. It's an immeasurable, like, I don't know how to quantify the value of that, because people hold up mirrors to you, and it's not to show you how not good enough you are. It's just kind of like, have you seen this in yourself?
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of those where, you know, my friends been like, have a lot of codependent relationships. Like, do you think your only value is what you do for others? Or what you put out there? Like, do you know I would still want you in my life if you didn't cook for me? Do you know I would still like you if you didn't pick up the phone every single time I needed you? Do you know that? Like, and until you love yourself, you can't really understand or even accept that, because there's kind of a question of like, first, you can't even accept that someone would love you if you didn't do or bring as much as you did. You can't. But I think in doing that, in loving yourself, you can actually accept and see, okay, cool. I might have to consider these things, especially if the people who love me, regardless. Like, regardless, they loved me when I was a mess. They loved me when I wasn't who I am now. When I wasn't the version of myself that I loved, they loved me.
When you weren't perfect.
When I wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like those were a lot of well, not during, I wouldn't say while it was happening, but in retrospect, it was there. And I feel like talking to people and, you know, holding mirrors up and speaking out of love, it may not help right there in the moment, but I think it's like planting a seed. You don't even know what has taken root.
Yeah.
And it's, again, life is to be understood backwards. So it's later on that is going to sprout into something and be of value. And those were kind of my aha moments. But I would say the things that took me from that version of myself to this version of myself, sadly, were horrible. Like, it was being on that edge, looking into the abyss and being like, okay, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to like jump over and just not do this anymore. But in doing that, it meant I had to put a lot of stuff down because it was just kind of like, I'm not going to turn 30. So all of these things that I think are important, building a career and getting to where I want to be, earning enough money and, you know, owning a home or dating and being in a loving relationship and sorting out my driving and and having enough savings and all of that stuff that I was just like so inundated with and angry at myself for not achieving, I got to put them down before I was going to jump. And in that there were certain things that I did at that point. I was going to start writing this crazy Google Doc, dispersing all of my stuff to who and what and all of that stuff. And I was going to go back to therapy to leave like trails of like, oh, she really was trying, you know, just some messed up stuff. It's really horrible.
Yeah.
But one thing I did, and it's so funny because it's because of a creator who does not in general speak about stuff like this, but I find him so funny. I find him so intelligent. He is so funny. He is so intelligent, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that spoke to me, and not until I saw that clip did I understand why. And he was talking about a book called The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. And he was suggesting people read it. It was a very different type of reel or clip from what I was used to seeing from him. And it came right at the moment where I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And the book is about, you know, depression and this girl who tried to kill herself. And I was just like, well, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm going to read it. And I read it and I was so angry. I was so angry because I guess there was a part of me that hoped, okay, well, this is going to help. This is going to give me an aha. This is going to explain to me what I should do next. This is going to save me. And it didn't.
Okay.
It really, really didn't. But going back to that whole thing of life needs to be understood backwards.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I read that book. I'm so glad for Theo Von because I understand it now. And it really was about, I'm the only version of me. Like, I'm the only me. And that is always going to be worth something.
Yeah.
In putting all of that stuff down, I was forced to live in the present because it's like, we don't care about the past. We don't care about the future because there's no future. We don't care about the past because it's gone. So I'm going to live minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, until I've decided that it's enough. And in doing that, I only have to focus on the minute I'm in and what do I want to do this minute? What would make me feel good this minute? And in doing that, it brought me to a version of myself that's never really existed, the one who lives in the present.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely, that voice that was doomsday prepping to literally exterminate him, she got quieter and quieter and quieter until I couldn't hear her. And then one day it was just kind of like, what is that? Like, what is that feeling? Like, and it was just kind of like, oh my God, like where did that voice go? Oh my God, am I living? Oh my God, am I thriving? Oh my God, am I happy?
Yeah.
And then the anxiety and everything came back in full force, because it's like, I'm so scared of going back to that version of myself who didn't know what any of this felt like. And then I was like, okay, now I need to do something. Like maybe I do go back to therapy, but I actually try. And I don't lie to my therapist because I don't want to upset them.
Not good to lie to your therapist. Mm-hmm.
I've lied to all my therapists.
Oh my God.
Except for this one.
Okay.
Except for this one. It's not my fault. My first proper one, well, my second proper one when I was 16, she bursted into tears. Like, and I was like, okay, I've got to lie to them moving forward because she's really upset about me being honest. But yeah, this one I was like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to be honest. And I'm really going to work with them. But also I need to do something different because this CBT is not scratching nothing. It felt like a bandage when what I needed was surgery. So I decided to go for EMDR.
Okay.
And surgery it was.
Okay.
Surgery it was. And it was so funny because I went into it extremely skeptical, right? Like I did start the process again, trying to leave that trail. Like I didn't even take it seriously. What do you mean
movement desensitization?
That's some stupid, like, hoity-toity. I was like, this is dumb, but I'm gonna pay for it and it's gonna be expensive. And people are gonna be like, oh, she was really, really trying. It was really messed up, honestly, in hindsight. It was really messed up. But I went into it so skeptical. But even from the warm-up, like, the get to know you 15-minute call that you might have with a therapist when you found, from that moment, my life was changed. And I mind you, I had those I shopped around. I had like 3 of those. But when I met my therapist, I was like, okay. Because in those 15 minutes, she gave me a quick list of things that I need to do in order to be able to afford the therapy, because it was expensive.
Yeah.
So yes. So living in the present, like, and before I knew it, I was in the future.
The final question, which is that life is hard. You've mentioned about life's hard moments. Life does have a lot of hard moments, even if Instagram doesn't make it look that way. It looks like everyone's thriving and everyone's living such an aesthetically pleasing life. What message do you have for anyone who's struggling, anyone who's been through or is currently going through some really difficult times? What do you want to say to them?
I think you need to find a way to be present, because I think when you do, it's not to dismiss that things aren't hard or there's no reasons to be upset or struggling, but there are just as many reasons to be happy or to be grateful. And they only start when we look at right now, because if we keep thinking about the future, am I going to have enough money to do this, or I need to do that? Like, you forget about what's in front of you right now. And it's, if you're always looking for the big things to feel some kind of contentment or happiness, then it's never going to be the case. It's never going to be the case. Sometimes a deciding factor of whether I had a good day or not is sitting in my boba shop and playing my Nintendo. That cost about £5, mate. Or it's laying in bed and listening to jazz music and sending voice notes back and forth with my friend.
Yes.
And I can be in those moments and be like, oh, that's so nice, you know? I kept saying, oh my God, 2025 was one of the worst years of my life. Worst years of my life. Because honestly, a lot of bad things happened. And not specifically to me, but to a lot of people around me. And, you know, at the end of the year, everyone's posting their
The highlight reel.
you know, and I'm just like, I was just thinking, God, I don't know how people can shove their year into like maybe 20 photos and put it on a photo dump. Like, I was like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't pick 20 photos out of all the photos I took this year. And I was like, girl, what? What? Did you not even realize how much of a brag that was? And I was like, oh, the worst year of my life, though.
Yeah.
The worst year of my life, but I can't think of 20 photos that I would choose over all of... Again, I say I'm 2 years old because in the last 2 years, being in the present means I take so much more photos of myself, of my loved ones, of just things. Like, I have an album of all the food that I've cooked.
Yes, food, yeah.
And I have another album of all the food that I ate in restaurants.
Yeah.
And I have an album of my nephew. And then I have another one of his second year of life. Like, and I'm just kind of like, oh my God. Like, but this is the worst year of my life, right? And I was like, fine, I can give you that. On the back of that, I decided, you know what? I can't concise it down to a reel. I'm going to make a photo book. And I made one. It's got like 160 photos in it.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, you know what? I've got enough to do one for the previous year. So I've got 2 photo books coming for 2024 and 2025. And it's like, when people look at that, I get to point at 2025 and be like, oh, yeah, and by the way, that's the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
That's the worst year of my life. And that just came from taking every moment. Like, every moment. It's like, everything's not easy, but it's like, okay, today it was freezing cold. And my train ticket was way more expensive than I thought it was going to be. And I didn't like the outfit that I chose. and I was like, I could decide that, oh, today's just not going to go well because of those things.
Yeah.
Right? Or I could focus on the fact that, oh my God, but I got here on time.
Yes.
And I was worried that I was going to mess that up because getting out of the house is really difficult for me these days. Oh, and I had breakfast. I had a Yakult today.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I had time to sit down in the cafe, have a coffee because it was freezing, and decide to get an Uber instead of walking 30 minutes to get my 10K step in. And I feel much better for that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, because my brain before those 2 years would have focused on all of those bad things. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me. I know. I lived like that for 29 years, you know? But at some point, you have to figure, like, when you have nothing to lose. Like, and I hope most people don't have to go to the edge of that abyss and to that brink and decide to put things down, to jump off it, to realize you have nothing to lose. Nothing matters. Nothing matters but you and how you feel when you're on your own in that quiet, how you feel about yourself and that, and all the versions of yourself. Because it's like, I look at myself now as, she was 1, she was 2, she was 3. They're all named after whatever age I was. I'm so grateful to 29. She changed my life. 29 is the hero she's the underdog. We never thought she would do anything with her life, yet she saved all of us. Because all of them heifers before were trying to kill us. They really were. And when I speak, I hear them, you know? So it's like, oh, you know, oh, you just have to live in the present. That's insulting to all of them because they didn't even know how to make it from day to day. Like, it's not that simple. But sometimes it actually is. All we have to do is simplify it because life, Instagram, people, it makes it feel like we're not doing enough with the hours that we have, and this is what's important, this is what's going to make me happy, I need to keep doing this, I need to keep doing that. None of that matters. Like, another thing I had planned to do was actually go talk to some old people, go volunteer in like a home and find out if I could figure out what to do. This was back when I was leaving that terrible, planning to leave that trail. I was going to go talk to some older people and find out if I could learn something because I was just like, I could not fathom getting that old, being here for that long. I had never planned to. And I was just like, I wanted to know if there was something that they did or something they wish they did, something to just help me. And it's all out there already, you know, when you talk to people who are older and on their deathbed. They don't sit there and say, oh, I wish I worked more. I wish I saved
Nobody
more.
says that.
I wish I earned more. I wish I owned more properties.
Nobody says that.
Oh, I wish I had less children. I don't know. They don't say those things. They just say, I wish I spent more time with the people who mattered.
Yeah.
I wish I spent more time doing the things I liked to do.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't spend so much time chasing. And I'm just kind of like, what am I going to go there and do to find out things I already know? Like, and it's like, oh my God, it's so easy. You said, oh, what, you like to paint? In order to have time to paint, you need to be able to eat and have a roof over your head and do it. Of course, there's a means, everything, there's a reason for everything.
Right.
But I feel like we have so much at our disposal, and society is shaping us in such a way that we can't even see that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, here right now, I am so happy and grateful to be in front of my friend. Like, I'm so happy and grateful to be thought of, and even to just have this avenue to speak and to share. And that's what I would like to share with people.
And we are grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here and for being so open and transparent with us. And what I love about your journey is that it's a real testament to life is not perfect. Things are not perfect. Things don't magically go away, but we find a way, even if it's difficult, and we find a way to be present. Thank you. It's been amazing chatting with you, chopping it up with you. Definitely have you back. If you'll have me.
I will drink less coffee next time.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Join us again next time. Take care.